Taking skins off doesn't make your mashed potatoes better. It just wastes time.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
What's up, guys? It's Kat and Dev from Two Market Girls. Welcome back to How to Vegan the Holidays, Season 4, Recipe 2
And 3.
and 3.
Hint, hint.
Oh, that's
two
true.
recipes.
2 recipes in one video because 'tis the season of
Carbs.
extra
food.
recipes, carbs, comfort food,
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah, so I think potatoes, so we're focusing on potatoes this video. I think potatoes are a very big part of the holidays, depending on what kind of potatoes you cook, but like, they always make an appearance.
They do that.
And two of I think the most common ways, we kind of just like gave them a nice TMG twist.
Mm-hmm.
So, Devin, what did we make?
We made panko crusted mashed potatoes, extra creamy.
And then, because people complained, aka Devin,
What?
we made cheesy scalloped potatoes.
I wouldn't call it complaining. I would call it cheesy
Motivation?
feedback.
Yeah. Devin said, and a couple other people said, that our scalloped potatoes weren't cheesy enough because I think at that point I hadn't actually ever had scalloped potatoes. And I think I misunderstood. Not I misunderstood. I think you explained it as buttery, creamy, and like not necessarily cheesy. Like you said some cheese, but there's not a lot of cheese.
I don't think I said that.
You did. Because I
No, I
remember
don't think
distinctly
so.
not putting as much cheese as I thought I should.
I don't think that's how it went.
So this time I basically just did potatoes in a cheese sauce.
That's how it should go, right?
So we made cheesy scalloped potatoes.
Should we go make them now?
Yeah, I made them already.
Oh my gosh.
To make your panko crusted mashed potatoes, we're first going to start off by chopping some mini potatoes into quarters and throwing that in a pot. Then we're going to place that onto the stove and pour some boiling water into it. Make sure to salt the water to your liking. I usually add about a teaspoon of salt to it. Then you want to bring that to a boil and then just let it cook there until the potatoes are nice and fork tender. Once the potatoes are cooked, we're just going to strain the water out of them and let them sit while we make our crunchy panko topping. So to a frying pan, we are going to add a little bit of butter and let that melt. Then we are going to add in some chopped garlic, as well as some panko breadcrumbs, crushed potato chips, and crispy onions, and then we're just going to toss that in and let it sit and cook for a little while. After a couple minutes, we're going to throw in some smoked paprika and then let it toast until it's nice and crispy and golden brown. Then once it's nice and golden brown, it should take about 5 or 6 minutes. We are going to turn off the heat and add in some freshly chopped parsley and just kind of set that aside while we prepare the potatoes. To the potatoes, we are going to first mash them a little bit just to get them started. Once we do that, we are going to add in a little bit of vegan sour cream along with some vegan butter, salt and pepper, and then we are just going to mash that until you get your desired consistency. So we kept the skins on and we don't mind ours a little chunky, so we didn't bother about getting it nice and smooth and creamy. But if you want to do that, you just kind of have to keep going at it. You might need to add a little bit more butter and a little bit more sour cream, but that's completely up to you. We ended up adding just a little touch more butter once we added it to the bowl and just stirred it in so there was nice freshly melted butter into that. Then once the potatoes have been added to your serving tray, you're just going to top it with that crispy topping that you made and you're good.
Where those streets are.
Next up, to make our cheesy scalloped potatoes, we're first going to start off by thinly slicing some potatoes. We're using a mixture of russet potatoes and sweet potatoes, but you can use all russet, all sweet, it depends what you want. Then we lined those, alternating the variety of potato into the pan that we used. We're going to do them a little different than regular scalloped potatoes. We're not going to lay them flat, we're actually going to stand them up so that you get some nice, you get the edges on the top of your thing. And then we're just going to set that aside and make our cheesy sauce to go on top of this. So to a pan, we're going to add some vegan butter, as well as some chopped garlic and some chopped shallot, and just cook that down for a couple minutes. Then we are going to add in some all-purpose flour and cook that until it's kind of formed like a little bit of a paste. It should be only 1 to 2 minutes. Then we're going to add in some non-dairy milk along with some bouillon paste, nutritional yeast, pepper, salt, thyme, smoked paprika, and mustard powder. And then we're just going to stir that in and then let it sit on medium heat for a few minutes until you see it start to thicken up. You want it kind of to be a little looser than a gravy consistency. Then once you get to the nice consistency that you want, you're going to add in a full package of vegan cheese shreds and let that melt until it's nice and creamy. Once that is done, we are going to pour that over our potatoes and just kind of try and get it into all the different areas of the potatoes. If you can't, just use a spoon and kind of scoop it in there. But once it actually goes into the oven, it will spread out more, so you don't have to worry too much. Next up, we're going to cover our pan with some tin foil and bake that in an oven preheated to 375. We're going to start off by baking it for about 30 minutes with the tin foil on. Then you're going to want to remove the tin foil after the 30 minutes, cook it for an additional 15 minutes. Then once that 15 minutes is done, you want to turn it on broil at around 350 and cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how crispy you want the top to be. And then you're ready to serve. Sprinkle on some chives to serve if you would like to. Welcome back
for potatoes.
Yeah, now we eat.
Oh, are we having the scallop ones
It's up
first?
to you,
'Cause
whatever you want. I just keep
can't
eating
stop.
them. They're so good. It's basically like macaroni and cheese, except the macaroni is potatoes.
Yeah. Like, this is a solid cheese sauce.
So good.
That's the cheese that I'm here for. I love this for us. Also, really like how thinly you slice the potatoes.
Thank you. I almost cut my fingers so many times.
Dangerous, but worth
Yeah,
it.
you can use a mandolin if you want. I have just never felt safe using a mandolin, so I would just rather cut by hand.
Yeah, we don't want... What?
Cut by hand.
It really sounded like you said I would rather cut my hand than use a mandolin.
If I use a mandolin, I'll cut my hand.
That's why I'm so confused.
Yeah, I think you can get pretty thin potatoes. You just gotta be, like, slow and steady when you're cutting by hand.
Let's have these mashed ones. With this topping that we are fully obsessed with.
Yeah, you can put this topping on, like, anything, and it'll just immediately make it better.
Yeah.
We're gonna sell this topping.
Yeah.
Even though we're giving you the recipe for free.
putting more on.
So good.
Oh, good.
I really didn't think mashed potatoes could get better.
Even the mashed potatoes alone are excellent.
Guys.
They taste like a classic, creamy, super unhealthy
Yes.
mashed potatoes.
Guys, keep the skins on your potatoes. Taking skins off doesn't make your mashed potatoes better. It just wastes time.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
It's so good. Now, I can't take full credit for the topping idea. I was inspired
Okay.
by, I don't remember what they used in theirs, but I was inspired by Bon Appetit, who did it with their mashed potatoes this year. And I was like, whoa, I can do something like that because it looks amazing.
Okay, now I have a question.
Yeah.
For most dinners where mashed potatoes are on the table, there's usually gravy.
Okay.
So, with the gravy and the topping, what's the order there?
Gravy first, topping
And then
second.
topping on top, and then eat it before the topping gets too soggy.
Yeah.
Basically.
You top and eat, then top, then eat.
Oh, okay. So it's like, okay.
I mean, I don't really put gravy on my mashed potatoes, so like, what?
Why not?
Okay, I only started eating gravy like in the last 3 years, so I never liked gravy, remember?
You've had some weird potato experiences before I came along. No scalloped potatoes, not a lot of gravy. I don't know
I
what's
just
going
ate
on.
like regular, just plain mashed potatoes, like with just as mashed potatoes. Is that weird?
Mhm.
Why?
Kind of boring.
All right.
And for you, you're not usually boring like that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
I'm boring
okay.
for
You're
you.
making progress. You're learning. I'm so happy to be here.
I mean, to be
teach
fair,
you.
I wasn't in charge of the food growing up. Like, my parents made me my food.
So I should blame your parents for this.
Yeah.
You guys didn't give Catherine enough gravy growing up. And look what happened.
No. They made a lot of gravy. I just didn't eat it.
Okay, so I can't blame your parents. I'm gonna blame you.
I didn't know it was the gravy specifically you were mad about.
Your lack of eating it.
Yeah, I didn't like poutine growing up. I was like a terrible Canadian.
Okay, but when I talk about gravy, I don't think of poutine first.
Oh, I do.
Maybe I'm a terrible Canadian.
Like, I didn't like poutine because I didn't like gravy. I didn't put any kind of gravy or sauce on anything I ate. I just really didn't like gravy when I was younger at all.
Should we talk about gravy in the comments?
Yeah, let's talk about gravy.
We're gonna talk about gravy.
Your favorite kinds of gravy?
Do you love gravy? Do you not love gravy? Is it weird that Catherine didn't like gravy before, but now she loves it? Are you happy for Catherine that she's had this awakening?
I still don't put gravy on much things, to be honest. Like around Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know what I did last Thanksgiving? That was actually great. I made that cranberry mustard and dipped the, that vegan ham thing in it. Oh, so good. So it was like cranberry sauce, but better because it was mustard.
Okay. I'm like all about the gravy. Especially with like the Thanksgiving, Christmas dinners.
No.
Okay.
Let's talk about gravy.
Yeah, we're going to talk about gravy.
And
As
potatoes.
usual, the links to the recipes will be in the description box below. There's also a link to our podcast. It's called TMG Unfiltered. It's available on Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, Google Play. Go give it a listen. We talk about how we make our recipes, living that vegan life, any trending news topics or announcements in the vegan world. It's a good time.
Yeah. I would also want to know which one of these you're going to make first.
Yes. And also, I'm sure you've noticed our lovely attire today. We're wearing these very nice sweaters. We have merch. You can buy it for yourself. You can treat your friends to some nice merch. Herbivore, plant-based. Links in the description.
Super cozy, super good quality, thanks to shirt activism.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. How to Be in the Holidays Season 4 is happening.
Next up,
fun.
the main course.
Make sure you are following us on Instagram these days, too. Because 'tis the season of giving away things.
Yeah, if you haven't followed us on Instagram yet, you missed a lot of good things that we gave away.
So many good things.
It's 12 days, guys.
We're basically Oprah, or like Ellen.
Yeah, we're channeling our inner Ellens. We got this.
Okay, we're gonna go now because the carbs...
I'm so full.
Yeah, the carbs have taken over.
And we also have pie to eat. Not that that's a bad thing. Not sweet pie, savory pie.
The better pie. Maybe the better pie?
No.
We're gonna talk about that later.
No, you're wrong. Savory pies. To make your mashed potato... What are we calling these? Crispy mashed potatoes? Crunchy creamy mashed potatoes with crunchy topping? Okay. Not really search friendly, but we'll call it that for the video at least.
Yeah.
What if we just called it panko crusted mashed potatoes? Okay. Because I have panko mashed potatoes right here. Sorry.
Wait for us to talk about it.
I can't look at it. It's so good.
Don't look at it. Just look up.